Good evening and welcome to Rural America Live. I'm John Jenkinson. Tonight, the experts from Kinze Manufacturing are here to offer insights on the company, explore their innovative product offerings that includes high-speed technology and mechanical planters, high-speed hybrid horizontal tillage tools, and single and dual auger grain carts. Joining us tonight, Susie Veach, president of Kinze Manufacturing, Brad Nienstedt from product specialist, and Eric Broadbent, director of sales, parts, and service for North America. Thank you very much to you all for being here tonight. So let's hear more about the company that you represent.
If you go back in history, you'll find that a great percentage of all the people that came to this country were farmers first. My story that I remember was my dad said that he and his brother started planting corn when they were 9 and 10 years old. They each had a 2-row planter pulled by a team of horses. First most important thing was planting, and that's what we end up doing here is building planters. Well, I had one out on the farm where I built go-karts and motorbikes and motor scooters when I was in high school. And then I graduated into bigger welding. I did some welding for the neighboring farmers and some for our own use around the farm. And then I bought a building in Ladora. It was, I think it was 30-some feet deep and 40-some feet wide. So it was like, what would it be, around 1,200 square feet, and remodeled it so that I could get in there to do welding and repair. And I started doing welding, repair, transmissions, axles, engines, all those kinds of things that I had learned to do either on the farm or working for an implement dealer. And then just things kept going from there. The first product was the anhydrous applicator, built for my own use, and later on we got to building them for resale. As the
history is told, you know, the welding shop did one-off projects, and of course there was the anhydrous toolbar, and then there was the first wagon and then grain cart, and you know, and again those ideas all came from farmers that had challenges in the field, and it was either a passing comment to my dad or a, I'd like you to make this for me.
We've always prided ourselves as being an innovator. In fact, I have a part of every grain cart that's ever been built because a local farmer asked me to build the first one, and he wanted it to have larger tires than a normal wagon would have, and he wanted it to have a larger high-speed auger, and so we developed a cart that had big tires and would unload itself in about 3 minutes. And as the combines have gotten faster and more bushels, we've made the carts bigger and bigger so that they can haul more and more, but the auger sizes, we've continued to expand on those so that we can unload, still get back to the combine in 3 or 4 minutes if we need to.
We saw the industry copy what we had. You know, grain carts as they look today were really a copy of that first grain cart idea that we had, and every grain cart you see is really patterned after what Kinsey created, what my dad created as that initial idea.
We built one for a local farmer, held 435 bushel. It's over here in our museum now. And from that, we built a dozen the next year, and then we built 25, and the next year 50, and it just went from there.
So, you know, the product line just started progressing from one-off to once my dad got to the idea of folding a planter for transport, again, for the efficiency of getting it down the road and not having to stop after planting a field and get it loaded up on a trailer and down the field and then, you know, reverse the process in the next field. It was really about that efficiency of being done with the field, being able to fold it, go on the road, go to the next field, unfold and plant again. And so when, you know, that was the first of its kind, and we often talk about Kinsey first over the years as far as innovation goes.
That was a local farmer who I had applied anhydrous for, watched him farm. He was farming quite a few acres, and he had a circle hitch on a John Deere tractor with an 8-row planter, and he had to take it apart basically to move it even across the field, or to move it through the gate or across a bridge. And it was a real pain in the rear to do that, and he commented about needing a better way. And I had a farmer from down in south central Iowa, I don't remember for sure where he was from, but he came in one day and just said somebody ought to be able to fold those wings horizontally rather than folding them up in the air or loading them on a trailer or loading the planter on the Donahue trailer or putting an endwise transport on it. It all took too much time. And so I started making a prototype that folded to the rear. That was the main innovation, was to fold it.
As what you call a short line, or a company that specializes in products like we do, and our products are pulled behind a tractor, we don't have the powered unit, we have to stay innovative. You know, innovation is key to our survival.
We were the first to fold a planter to make it easier to transport. Then we were the first to flex a planter where the wings could flex up and down. Started out flexing in the middle. Later on we flexed it at each wing flexed off of a center section. So we had at least 2 sections and then 3 sections. The next invention that comes to mind was the row markers, where the markers folded with 1 hydraulic cylinder. Then we come along and got rid of the transmission in the middle of the planter and put the speed change out on the ends of the planter. We then come up with the contact drive that got rid of the drive chain running around the gauge wheel. Then we rotated the planter, locked it rigid and rotated the planter for road travel. And so the next big invention, I believe, was we come up with the 15-inch rows, and we could see that we had clearance problems between the rows, so we built a frame we called the double frame, and we put the extra rows out front. We did at first with a 4-row, then a 6-row, and then we built an 8, later on a 12-row, and that we called the twin line, 16-row. So we had capitalized on all of those split row planters. We were the narrowest in transport of anybody out there, and on goes the inventing that we do with planters.
But as you look at planters, that's where the technology product is for the products that we make.
We think that we can watch, we can listen to the farmer, listen to the customer, we can listen to the dealers, but we also listen to our own people. As family, we still farm enough to stay very involved, and so we're coming at this from 3 different ways so that we can get the best ideas from the best places to learn from those ideas.
It's all a great experience for us, and we enjoy using the equipment and making it better. And I think that's one thing that makes Kinsey unique to most of our competitors is, as a family, we farm, and so we're using the equipment, we know how it should work, and know ways we can make things better just because of the many years we've had of operating things. And the same cannot be said, you know, about the large corporations where many of the upper executives probably don't have any ties or experience farming.
So my earliest memories of farming are with my dad and his brother, and so it gets to be a habit. I don't call it a habit, but it gets in your blood, and that's what you want to do, and that's what I always felt I wanted to do. I got into manufacturing simply because my dad couldn't afford to help me start farming, so my second choice was was welding and repair, and that's what was the beginning of the company.
I was probably about 10 years old when I first started driving the grain cart by myself, and yeah, it's always fun to get out of the office and be with him in the field, and you know, just to be outdoors and use the product.
Farmers tend to get out there and get the job done. They don't throw up their hands and not plant a crop. Farmers are probably the most optimistic person on the face of the earth, and even in the prices don't look good, farmers will go out and plant their crop and raise their livestock and do whatever they typically do and hope for the best.
So every farmer, it's his business getting crop in and out of the ground. That's his livelihood. So, you know, for the farmer, he's always looking at what things can make him more efficient, more productive, have greater yields. You know, ultimately, it's about making money and having income to support his family and income to pay for the inputs the next year around to put the next crop in the ground. There's definitely a difference, you know, when your name is on the product and you own the company as an individual or as a family. That's very different than a corporation that, you know, is publicly held and you have stockholders. And it's very impersonal by comparison. You know, when you come here, we as owners like to interact and be involved with people, and we truly see it as taking a team of people to make all the things that happen here at Kinsey. I mean, all the great things we do as a result of our people, not us as owners. You know, we're obviously involved and very passionate about the business, but we couldn't do what we do without the many great people that we've surrounded ourselves with.
Hey, what were your expectations when you opened up shop in Eldora?
Just to make a living. I didn't have my sights set very high at the time. I just knew that I liked to fix and repair things. And in fact, that's what kept me going, was I enjoyed the customer and satisfying the needs of that customer and building what I thought he needed, and evidently we succeeded in doing a lot of that.
Wow, that is a great overview of the history of Kinsey. So Susie, tell us, is there more that you can tell us about the company?
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you so much for hosting us today. We really appreciate it. We have approximately 600 employees globally, with nearly a third of them having farming backgrounds. Our headquarters are in Williamsburg, Iowa, and we have approximately 1.25 million square feet under roof. Our Kinsey Innovation Center is open to the public and showcases our history and our new products. Factory tours can also be scheduled. And our manufacturing is fully integrated. We bring in the raw steel, we fabricate it, weld it, paint it, assemble it, test it, and ship it to our dealers. We also have our buildings connected via underground tunnels, which allows all of our employees to stay inside during inclement weather. And if you've ever driven past Kinsey on Interstate 80, you'll see that we have various pieces of lawn art. There's a planter display in front of our office building, and it rotates approximately one time an hour. And this was built by my dad as a way to show people driving by on I-80 how a planter folds. In North Liberty, Iowa, we have our planter advanced controls, and we design hardware, software, and the user interface there. In Vilnius, Lithuania, we have a factory which serves our global customers. And back in Williamsburg, we have demo grounds that allows us to demonstrate our products so customers can see or operate the equipment. So we encourage you to please come and visit us in Williamsburg.
Amazing, all of the work that goes into that, and all of that done right in the center of farming country.
Yeah, for sure, and it's been fun to be a part of it and interact with our farmer customers.
It sounds like testing and customer feedback are really important. That was brought up several times in the video. Yeah,
for sure. Testing is very important to what we do at Kinsey, and as part of our core values is customer focus and making sure we have a good quality product. And many of our engineers have a farm background, which makes them relevant to our farmers. We test our products year-round, and we go down south in the winter months to hot, dusty, corrosive soil where We accelerate the wear on our planters, and that helps us really understand environmentally the things that can happen out in the field in very dusty conditions. We have customer test units. We place products out in the field with farmers and get their feedback on what they like and dislike. We bring farmers in for focus groups and better understand the products and features that they want. And in 2014, we brought all of our advanced planter electronics in-house. And we'd gotten a lot of feedback from farmers on the frustrations of just things that happen with third-party software and with third-party responsiveness when we're not in control of it. And so we brought it in-house, and as a result of farmer feedback, we created Blue Vantage, the easiest to use planter display in the industry. Blue Vantage was really optimized for Kinsey planters, and so it performs very well being designed for our planters and by Kinsey. So truly farmer feedback drives the innovation that we do and is an important part of our process, getting that customer feedback to make improvements and having new features in our products.
So you talk a lot about this farmer feedback. I want to take that one step further. When you talk to these farmers and you're getting their feedback, what do they say about having a manufacturer who really shows interest and really shows that they care about hearing what they have to say? Do they respond to that?
Yeah, they sure do. And we interact with farmers, whether it's face-to-face at Kinsey. We want farmers to come and see us and visit us, and we want to talk with them. We interact with them online, different forums, and we're not afraid to go out and talk to them directly. I'm out as an owner online and certainly rubbing shoulders when we do have customers at Kinsey or at farm shows or wherever we might be or at our dealers. So it's a very important part of what we do, and one of the principles that my dad started the business on with the customer focus, and that's truly what got us in the business, was understanding the challenges and being able to create innovations that solve their problems in the field.
Yeah, fascinating. Well, we've got a lot to get to here tonight, so we're going to do that. We're going to take a break, so be sure and stay tuned. More with Kinze Manufacturing coming up on Rural America Live. Stay with us.
We said, we're not where we would like to be from an electronics standpoint, and there were so many things that we wanted to do but we couldn't do because we were either limited by timeline or by a supplier that didn't understand how to go about something. And so we said, let's bring that in-house, let's do it ourselves, let's hire the best team that we can hire as far as skill set, but let's be sure that those we hire, we're bringing in the ag background and those that have the skills but have the farm background and understand what they're creating. So that was back in 2014 that we established Kinsey Electronics Division. So, today we can truly say Kinsey Electronics, when we look at our advanced system, Blue Vantage and Blue Drive, our electric drive system, those are made by Kinsey for Kinsey planters.
The planting is the most important thing that a farmer does. So you find that not only is it important, but it's the operation that the owner himself is most apt to be doing. It's been simplified due to some of the complaints we get from a lot of guys, including myself. Make it simple so that it's easy to use. And here we got the screen showing what we're doing with the planter, but around the outside we got all the things we need to know or we need to change. When you go into those end rows, the automatic GPS shuts it off. One of the goals is to get that end set up right, because your neighbor's going to be looking over the fence to see what you're doing, and they don't see what you do that's good as quick as they see what you do that makes a mistake.
Well, welcome back to Rural America Live with Kinze Manufacturing. Brad Needstad is lead product specialist with Kinze Manufacturing, back with us. And Brad, tell us a little bit about this Vantage planter that we're talking about.
So our Blue Vantage display, like Susie talked about, we spent a lot of time and brought everything in-house with really a high-end electronics team to really develop the easiest to use planter display on the market. And just kind of walk through some of those things that make it that easy to use planter display. And it really starts with the home screen itself. So the main plant screen at the very top shows you planter status at the top and tells you, hey, everything is good to go. We, of course, see those check boxes at the top. And of course, the plant button in the upper right-hand corner is pulsing to say, hey, this is where you need to go to start planting. So as we tap on that plant button, it gives us our list of fields. All right, in this case, we have 2 fields already. The beauty of this Blue Vantage display, as I'm walking through with today, has a built-in demo and training mode in it. So first-time user, bring it out the next year, you're trying to train somebody new in the operation, you can put it in demo and training mode and walk through just like we are today, just like you're sitting in the field planting. So when the snow flies, you can come in here and just refresh yourself. So we can simply add a new field and everything you need to set up on your planter, whether it be products, loading prescriptions, setting vacuum levels, population, is all done through this screen. Really, the beauty of this setup is we do not require you to enter really any information to start planting. So it's as simple as if everything is how you set it, you don't really decide to record grower, farm, and field information, you don't have to put any of that in there. We don't require anything. We can just hit the plant button and we're ready on the plant screen, ready to go. Once we get to the plant screen itself, you can see we provide all that detailed information that the customer needs to see as he's driving through the field. Of course, this is a tablet-based interface. So just like your smartphone or tablet, if you use one finger, you can move the map around. Of course, 2 fingers, we pinch and zoom. And of course, we can center that icon back in there. If we work around kind of the top edges of the display, you can see at the very top where we have all of our bar graph information to see anything from population, singulation, ground contact, etc. Of course, as you work around the outer edges of the display, all these boxes are active. So let's say, for example, right now we're looking at percent to target population map, and we wanted to look at a different option on the planter. We can simply tap on that screen and we can see all of the detailed information that you get. And this is all row by row detailed information. So for example, we're on percent to target. Let's say we want to look at our ground contact for our true depth hydraulic downforce. We can see that information. We tap it again and we can easily change layers right from this screen. We of course have the ability to see all of our vacuum levels, and these are all active boxes. So we want to change our vacuum. It is just one click, accept it, and we've changed these values. So a lot of detailed information is built in right in this screen. We go to our bottoms option. We have, of course, markers. We now support cameras for this coming model year. So the beauty of it is anything you need to do on the planter, whether it be folding, markers, population, vacuum, bulk fill, everything is built into this one display. If we kind of keep going to the left-hand side over there where it says acres and miles per hour, we of course have bulk fill scales on our planters. And of course, another new feature for us this year is automatic weight transfer. So a lot of, again, enhancements as we've come into Blue Vantage and Blue Drive. So all active screens, everything you need to utilize on your planter, change, modify, or monitor is built into this screen. Kind of one big thing we've ended on really as kind of one of the main pain points is, again, going back to that customer focus group. Setting our section control can sometimes be a pain or a time-consuming item when guys are in the field. We've really simplified that with giving you a picture, directional arrow of what direction you're traveling, and then what you are actually adjusting. So we can come in here and say, hey, I want the planter to start earlier, 8 inches, and that's it. So it's as simple as that to get you up and running quickly in the field, because of course performance is the name of the game. And efficiency is the name of the game. We try to make that display for the basic user to the high-end user and everything in between. Blue Vantage covers all that.
Same thing with the other opposite way with stop then.
Absolutely. Yep. You got the same thing on the planting stop. You can, again, adjust it. It tells you what you're adjusting, the distance you do, and we take care of the rest. So it's as simple as just telling us where you want the seed, and we take it from there. So a lot of quick and easy options, and we've had it out, for, of course, for several years. Let's see what some of our customers think of the Blue Vantage and Blue Drive package.
I love that monitor. It's taking it back to a more user-friendly, it's almost simple. You get in there and you just touch 3 buttons and you can drop it in the ground and you can plant. I'd definitely have to say that the Blue Vantage was what really piqued my interest in the trading into this Blue Drive system.
And the simplicity of it is really nice because the monitor to program it, to do anything, to change anything, it's really simple. You know, I think about half the people, firemen, could do it easily if they just applied themselves. And it wouldn't take that much to do it.
So my first experience running this planter with the Blue Drive system was the ease of operation, the simplicity of the Blue Drive system and how everything just meshed together correctly. It wasn't hard to learn. The learning curve was pretty short.
Yeah, very simple process. Very, you don't get yourself into the point where you're locked into it, can't figure out how to get back out of it. So we've, it's just fun. It's just because there's so much to offer that we haven't even tapped into yet.
Yeah, I'm not computer minded. I never grew up with computers. I don't even have a smartphone, but I can run this. Gets the job done quicker when you have something that's simple and easy to run.
That is just amazing. So with all of these new features and that are with this, what about other displays? Historically, you have a little bit of trouble unlocking codes, things like that. What about this machine?
So again, as we've gone back and listened to customers on what are some of the pain points they're dealing with their current architecture and current GPS systems, again, not only do we want to make it easy, but we don't want to make it really a monetary item to continue to require monetary or unlock codes to get more features. Mm-hmm. So the beauty of Blue Vantage is once you buy it, it's yours until you trade or get a new one or whatever it may be. And as we continue to add features annually, there's no unlock codes. And a great example of that is for this coming model year, we support the ability to have 2 planters planting in the same field. Competitive units out there require unlock codes to get you that feature. We provide that feature free of charge. As soon as you update it, you get it. Whether you use it or not, it's always in there for you. So no hidden fees, as we like to say. It's ready to go right out of the box until you want to trade or get a new one. So it's yours for life.
And if you're running 2 planters in the field, they talk with each other, everybody knows.
Yep.
You can monitor all this in real time.
Yep, absolutely. So you'll, if you had 2 planters in the same field, you would of course see two
Sure.
different colors or more. If you had more planters in the same field, we can support 2 or more as part of that feature. And again, no unlock code to support it.
Just amazing. What other features come with this thing?
Really, the best part is everything planter control is supported with it. So as we talked about the new features of camera support, our automatic weight transfer system, we're introducing for model year 22 is all again encapsulated into it. And you get the dock, the station, and the beauty is too with us not being tied to a major manufacturer, we include all of the correct GPS cables that you need to plug directly into your planter. So there's no hidden cables, no cables you have to find after the fact. It's all included in the package. You get a complete package ready to go to the field when you buy Blue Vantage and Blue Drive.
The mapping on this is just unbelievable. Is there anything else that really stands out that when you talk to customers, I know when we watch the video, one of the things that it reiterated and that I noticed is just the simplicity, the ease of it.
Yep, it's again made for all levels of technology. So we've had guys jump from the basic to the advanced. The beauty part of especially using a tablet-based user interface, for example, our row-by-row detailed mapping is when you completely zoom all the way in to the planter and get it close, you're actually watching 5-inch mapping as you're going through the field. So basically you're watching every seed get mapped row by row as you're driving through the field real time.
Okay. So let's switch gears here just a little. What about speed?
Yep.
What about true speed?
So true speed, kind of again, just taking on the same architecture of Blue Drive. And again, no difference if you have a standard speed or a true speed meter. The user interface is the same. And it's really been a good transition for this past spring to introduce true speed.
So this automation, it seems like it's just changing at warp speed at this point. This had to have been really quite a feat to be able to come up with this.
Yep, and I will say that our electronics team is a top-notch group of guys that are truly dedicated to making this work, and it's obviously different, like Susie said earlier. When your name is on it, those electronics guys feel that their name is on that electronics, and they're trying to make it efficient for farmers and give them the best solution for planting out there in the industry. So yeah, a lot of pride that comes into this, and a lot of unique items with Blue Vantage and Blue Drive, which really goes right into true speed, giving us the ability to have a high-speed meter solution that's a little unique to the industry, and we have a lot of unique features with it, with our unique seed disc design that you see in the video of using a paddles and a no-adjust singulator. So again, keeping with a simple user interface, you have a simple meter behind it, putting seed in the ground. And its unique orientation is oblivious to side hills and consistent loading. So it truly provides accuracy at your speed. Whether you're 3 miles an hour to 12 mile an hour, this system will provide it. And really it starts with that unique handoff from the disc into the delivery tube with our brush wheel at the bottom. So you kind of see real time how it gently takes the seed off the disc and then into our flighted belt. and then of course down into the seed trench. In the name of consistent spacing and speed, you want to be in control of that seed from that disc all the way to the seed trench. In our true speed meter with our delivery belt, and then of course high accuracy sensor to provide that real-time performance feedback of how that's truly operating in the field and its performance and accuracy. And of course, we got to finish off the seed well at the bottom of our delivery tube when really we provide the lowest seed release point in the industry. And what does that mean from a user standpoint? Less chance of roll, bounce, and ensure that seed is in the bottom of the trench every time. So consistency from 3 to 12 miles an hour, that's really the name of the game of true speed.
That is amazing, because up to this point, speed has been one of the big factors. If you went too fast, you lost a lot of accuracy.
Yep.
And in today's world, accuracy is the bottom line in placement of the seed and making sure it's the right spacing each and every time. What about different rates? You still get the same accuracy?
Still get the same accuracy, and it's not only rate, speed, but really any type of seed size as well. As we get into the seed industry, of course, that's becoming a struggle with refuge in a bag, and there's a lot of different sizes inside of it. We're oblivious to it from the true speed meter standpoint. So kind of coined the phrase, you buy it, we plant it. And that's what it is. And we want to provide the best meter performance the first time. And as John said in his video, really planting is the most important part and really the foundation for the whole growing season and yield. So it is critical function.
Interesting. All right. Anything else we need to cover on while we're on the seed placement then?
Yep, that's really the easiest to use item. Again, it's a no adjust singulator item with very low maintenance, which we'll talk about here in a second.
You have a prop here that we can show. I saw
Yep.
this. I saw you bring this in, and I really wanted to find out more about this.
Sure.
Because we had this back in the green room, and as a
Sure.
farm kid, this fascinates me. So break this down a little bit and explain what it is we're looking at here and
Sure.
the
So
features.
really, this is the meter part of the meter. All right. So the top half of it, and really the unique item as we're talking about it is the ability that it runs perpendicular through the field. So contrary to other meters where, of course, you're running parallel, we actually run perpendicular, so we're oblivious to side hills or angles. And then, of course, we provide a consistent release from the bottom of the disc to our delivery tube down into the seed trench, which you saw in the video earlier, the animation that it comes in. The beauty part of it is the low maintenance items and really crop changeover. How do I change from corn to soybeans? Obviously, it has to be quick and efficient. And we've really done that with True Speed Meter from the simple fact that we only require a couple items for it to actually change. So, of course, we have our disc on the top side of our delivery housing. So, again, just a quick release clip.
Just a clip? Yep.
Take that off. We have a quick spring released ejector for any remnants or dirt that gets inside of it. And really, we put our soybean ejector in. So, for example, we're just changing to
Now that just
soybeans at
snaps
the bottom.
into a. It's not spring loaded or anything.
Yeah, it's a spring loaded, but you got a spring loaded clip that retains
Okay,
it. Yep.
right.
And the good thing is you can only put it in one way. All right. So we've had Eric Broadbent try it out, and he can't mess it up. So we know it's simple. We know it's simple. So once you put your ejector in there, of course you put your disc on the top. You clip your disc in, and then on the other half of the meter, we simply adjust this baffle up for soybeans, and then we actually remove our singulator for soybeans. So you actually take it out by just pulling up and out, put the meter back together, and we're ready to go plant soybeans. So quick crop changeover. Again, it's all about efficiency. If the corn ground's too wet or we need to make a quick change to another farm because it didn't get rain, we can certainly do that quick and efficiently. And again, get back to planting and get some acres in the ground.
Well, and should anything need serviced, easy access to this.
Yep, absolutely. It's retained, and kind of the unique part of how it's retained on the planter is we actually have a kickstand that actually holds that thing horizontal for you, so you can work on it, and then of course no seed falls out as well. So super easy to get into, and we've built all of these components for long service life as well. So our goal is really to make a 10,000 acre or take 10,000 acres on a 24 row before you would ever have to do any sort of maintenance or replace any components on the planter. So low cost of ownership because, again, with high speed, things can wear out quicker.
Do you have an example of what customers are saying about this?
The best part is we had a lot of customers out there, whether it be our test units or some customers that ran it for this past season. Probably the best quote I've heard so far is it's the best stand he's seen in 42 years of planting. That's really saying a lot for somebody with that kind of history and, of course, has gone through several units as well. So,
let's hear from somebody who's had experience with this.
Yep.
My initial reaction was my dad would be telling me to slow down. So normally we drive 5.5 miles an hour, maybe 6. When I got it up to 10, pushing 11, I looked over and I was like, just started shaking my head. I couldn't believe that what the Blue Vantage was saying to me, and I got out and dug underneath the soil and was just making sure it was what it was saying on the computer was actually true. It was pretty phenomenal.
Okay, so in addition to the TruSpeed planter enhancement on the entire line here, there's a lot of longevity and everything built into these, is that right?
Yep. Well, not only meter is obviously a big part of it, but we spent a lot of time looking at high wear components on the row unit, and really started with our parallel arms. And we went to a double bushing style parallel arm. We actually have 18% more surface area there, so more surface area, and it's a pressed in bushing. So as things wear out, you can just replace the bushings instead of the whole arm. We've increased our double disc opener blades to double bearing disc opener blades. Again, just more durable, stronger disc blades. Again, as standard equipment on all planters. Again, get longer life out of those components. We've went and enhanced our inner seed tube guard, or our inner scraper, again, to provide longer wear life and lower service intervals. We've increased the size of our gauge wheel arm pocket to, again, larger, heavier, longer wear life pieces on that guy as well. And again, just continuing on with all those components. And we've did other enhancements on the planter, like provide a PTO pump as standard equipment on our 47 and 4905s that get us down to only requiring 2 remotes for the highest equipped planter that we offer in the industry. So any tractor in the last 30 years could run a high-end, high-accuracy planter. So really give a lot of flexibility to not require a new tractor and use what you have on the farm, but really do a great job planting. We've increased our bulk fill and trainers on the bottom to support more crop types, but more importantly to, of course, support high-speed planting as well. And the ability to flow high rates at high speeds and more crops is really the name of the game when it comes to planting. And again, this is across the board. We just didn't do it on high-speed planters. This is across all of our product line with the 05 series. So a lot of new enhancements. Both our 3000 and 4000 series row units have all of that items that we just talked about.
Okay, with all these new components and all these new enhancements that you just talked about, what kind of longevity are you getting out of all of this? Because, you know, you talked about the bushings and things like that are easy to change. What kind of life can you expect? Because let's face it, when you're out running and it's time to be planting, it's usually a narrow window that you have to be running. And one of the things you don't want to be doing is stopping to fix.
Yep, absolutely. And the main goal of our 05 series enhancements was to provide double wear life. Take what we have today and provide solutions that provide double the wear life that we do today. And really that's where our testing comes into play, where we're going in abrasive conditions to really see, do they truly last double life, so we know we have that good solution and we can fully say, hey, double wear life components is what you have now with an 05 series planter.
Now you've brought up another point that I want to find out a little bit more about. You mentioned the 05 series planter. You've got different series of planters. What about these components? Are these in all of the advantages in all of the series then?
Absolutely. The nice part is it was a released TruSpeed last year. Again, customer request and really just the success of that meter has pushed it on to other models, both all of our 4000 series planters and several of our 3000 series now support TruSpeed meters. And of course, as popularity grows, we'll continue to add it on more models going forward as well. So a lot of new things coming, and again, just adding it to more planters and more models going forward.
All right, so we have all of this great technology in place and new options like the force down on all of this high-speed planters. But what kind of hydraulic requirements? I know that you mentioned the auxiliary pump, so you can eliminate some of that. Let's go down the hydraulic world.
Yep, and the big thing we focused on too, again, not tied to any major manufacturer. We got to be as universal as possible. In order to do that and really provide, again, the best solution for the customer, we've introduced that variable displacement PTO pump on our 47 and 4900 model planters, which allow you to run the planter configuration that works best for your operation and the attachments and options that you want without the worry of what tractor's on the front. So again, any tractor in the last 30 years can run a 4905 high-speed planter because we only take 2 remotes and the PTO pump takes care of all the rest. So it's kind of a hidden feature in there. It's a lot simpler to operate because in order for the planter to be turned on, turn on the PTO and you're ready to go.
Now, the true speed really seems to be very, very sophisticated and very accurate. So it must be pretty significant then to be able to maintain these and keep up maintenance on this.
Yep, and we wanted to keep the same easy maintenance piece as we do with easy user interface, easy hydraulic hookups, all of that, and we kept that with our true speed, again, with our long-term life of 10,000 acres on a 24-row, but more importantly, at the end of the season, make it simple to put it away. And the beauty of, let's say, our delivery tube at the bottom, you don't have to take it apart, you don't have to disassemble it, you don't have to do anything at the end of the season. Our components that we use, our Kevlar reinforced flighted belt, prevents the need to disassemble it and hang it on a hook and all those type of items that some of the competition uses out there. So truly at the end of the season, you're gonna clean out the meter, you're gonna take the disc off, and you're ready to go for storage. So it's just that simple, just that easy.
Interesting. Yeah. Anything else you want to add about this?
Really, the best part is come out, see us, visit us at Kinsey.com or come and visit us at the plant. We'll be more than happy to visit with you, take you to the field, and really show you how True Speed acts in the field as well.
Brad, thanks a lot for explaining all this and breaking this down for us. Very, very interesting.
Thank you.
We've got more to get to, so be sure and stay tuned. We're going to do that right after this break, so stay with us here with Kinze Manufacturing. Rural America Live tonight.
As we look at feedback from farmers, as we look at market opportunities and where the market is growing, one of the things that we started recognizing is that there was a growing market of what was classified as high-speed tillage. As we studied the high-speed tillage market, and specifically what we're calling hybrid horizontal tillage, we've got a tool that is not just a fall tool or a spring tool. And again, that's what was very desirable for us also being farmers, is that you've got a tool that can work both spring and fall. And then when you look at the soil finish, how it incorporates the residue and gives you that great surface finish that you can plant right into in the spring, that you can use as tillage in the fall after the crop is out. We were just really intrigued by the high-speed tillage segment, and specifically the mock till and what it could do as far as for the soil, and really preparing and having that beautiful seed bed in a variety of conditions.
Welcome back to Rural America Live with Kinze Manufacturing. Eric Broadbent is his Director of Sales, Parts and Service for North America, and he's back here with us. Eric, we're going to talk about Kinze's line of harvest tools. Can you kind of get into this just a little bit, because you got a wide selection?
Absolutely. So I believe we're going to have turn this over to Justin Render, who's our product specialist for tillage and our grain carts. So we're going to watch a short clip from Justin and see what he has to say.
Okay. Thank you.
Transitioning to our tillage lineup, our 201 and 261 are bifold machines covering from 20 to 26 foot. Our 302 and 362 are our mid-size narrow transport frames covering 30 to 36 foot. And then our large frame, our 412, is a 41-foot model. Mocktill is a versatile, heavy-built, low-maintenance machine that prepares the seed bed in the spring or incorporates residue in the fall while running at high rates of speed without creating compaction layers, resulting in an eye-appealing finish. Agronomic benefits include nutrient cycling, improved soil density for water infiltration that reduces erosion. There's our high-level overview on our hybrid horizontal tillage that can cover 30 to 60 acres per hour.
All right, so there's the stage is set.
Absolutely. So Mocktill, while we're talking about that, last August we had a unique event that happened in the Midwest. It was called a Derecho. Straight line winds, 140 miles per hour. So this next clip, we're going to show you kind of a unique application for the Mocktill.
Okay.
So when Derecho hit, the first things you check are, is your family okay? Is your house okay? And then you start driving around the crop fields and seeing complete devastation. It still puts a damper on things, you know. This is our livelihood, and you know, when it came down to it, we had very few options, and the Mocktill is pretty much the option that's going to save us here. But this is exactly what we were looking for. We weren't looking to turn a lot of dirt. We were just looking to take the residue down so that it was basically prepped for the no-till Kinsey planter we're gonna plant cover crop with. You know, we needed something that we could attack it fairly quickly with, but at the same time, be able to have really good trash flow, because your traditional disc, you know, in this field, it just would have been a balled up mess. But being able to use the mock till to really rebuttal from the situation is really what is going to save us, I think, this year.
So now I think we're going to hear from Justin. He's going to talk a little bit about our grain carts.
Hello, Justin Render, product specialist at Kinze Manufacturing for our carts and our tillage line. Today we're going to start off with our dual auger carts. Our family includes our 1105, 1205, 1305, and our 1500 model. So our dual auger lineup is easy to operate, low profile dual auger cart with corner auger for exceptional visibility, intuitive joystick for easy grain control and unloading speeds that keep you running at peak efficiencies, minimal maintenance driveline, and durable cart design with a self-tensioning track system for an uninterrupted harvest season. Now over to our single augers, which include our 851 model and our 1051 model. Simple single auger grain cart that lasts longer than other carts in the market because it's built with the same premium components used in Kinsey dual auger carts. Low maintenance driveline with no shear bolts for reduced downtime, consistency, and complete clean out make changeover effortless.
Thank you, Justin. So now we would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit of time about our dealer network. And in North America, as you can see here, we've got almost 300 dealers in the U.S. and Canada. Very proud of that. You can see our home there in Williamsburg, Iowa. And as we look across the rest of the globe, we've also got a production facility, manufacturing facility in Vilnius, Lithuania.
You really cover a large area with that, which means you stand behind your product.
Absolutely, we do. And our first line of defense is always the dealer, and we're extremely proud of our dealer network. They do an excellent job representing our brand.
And you speak directly to the customers, too.
Absolutely. We really pride ourselves on that customer focus that you've heard Susie and John as well as Brad talk about. We really take that all the way through the sales process as well. So my sales team is directly involved with the customer, with the dealer, as we have those conversations, and we try to understand what are the problems we are trying to solve, and we bring a lot of that information back into the plant.
Okay. And is that pretty valuable to everybody back at the plant then?
Absolutely it is. You can't get enough of that. That direct feedback from the customer right into our engineering resources or product specialists. We really get everyone involved in those kinds of applications so that we can make sure that we've got the exact right fit for our customers as well as our dealers.
So it isn't just during the season that you're using this machinery. You stay in touch with them throughout the year then?
Absolutely. So, it starts off with planning, but we've also got the tillage machine, so that's a little bit ahead of planning, maybe in the fall as well. And then we've also got some touch points with them with our grain carts. So really, we're trying to stay in contact with these customers all year round.
What is Experience Kinsey?
Experience Kinsey. So this is something that Brad spoke about a little bit earlier, and we actually invite folks into Williamsburg, Iowa, the plant there, and we have them out with their dealer, and we actually get to show them how these pieces of equipment operate in the field. So we'll actually let them ride or drive a planter through the field, operate the Blue Vantage display. They'll even get to use the mock till for some tillage work if they want to do that. In the fall, when we have some harvest activities going on, if there's anyone that wants to come out and see what our grain cart's all about, we'll let them take a spin.
Right there. We have a video for that too. Let's take a look at that.
So it's important that customers come out to Williamsburg, and we've got guys from the factory, we've got guys from marketing, our engineers are out here, certainly sales. So it's important to come out and see how this equipment really does operate in a field environment rather than static displays like you would see at any other farm show. So this is really where the iron hits the dirt and guys can really put it to the test.
As a test engineer, I work with the equipment a lot, so we're just giving the customers a ride along. A lot of good feedback from guys. So we've got current Deere users, ExactEmerge users, precision planting guys, and they've just got things they're not quite happy with. They're getting real excited about what we're showing them here with Blue Vantage and TrueSpeed.
So the purpose of today to bring these guys in is to show our customers firsthand in the dirt how our machines work in real life operations.
Well, we have a short overview from our product managers talking about the Blue Vantage, true speed. We're going to do some competitive comparisons, and then we're going to go out in the field and do a ride and drive.
Kinsey introduced our 05 series enhancements, and these are things that go across all of our product line.
Disc bearings, they're a double sealed bearing as well. A good rule of thumb is about 20,000 acres out of those. It's kind of the best of both worlds. You can use them spring and fall and have a little bit more aggressive on the front, a little more finishing capabilities on the back.
So we're out here doing ride and drive, getting customers acquainted with all of our new equipment for model year 21.
So coming out to experience Kinsey is a lot about the planters, which you've just seen and heard from both Brad and I, and it is quite an experience. So right now we are in the midst of concluding or have concluded our planter early order program. So for those of you that want to take advantage of all of our planter enhancements for model year 22, please contact your local Kinsey dealer or look them up at kinsey.com if you're not sure who they are, and or contact us directly here at Kinsey in Williamsburg. Next, we've got mock till early order program for spring model year 22. That'll be coming up in August, and that's an exciting program for us because we've got some new things to talk about with regard to mock till. So the mock tills for model year 22 are going to have an all-new rubber roller on the back of that machine, which means also new scrapers. So what is that going to do for you? It's going to improve the finish over and above what we presently have, and it's also going to improve the residue flow. So when you get into those heavy crop conditions, that material is just going to continue to flow right on through. For the 20 and 26 foot models, we've got hydraulic gauge wheel option for those machines, and we've also got the retrofit kits available. And then the final thing for mock till are larger blades, a 22-inch blade option across the board, all models from 20 to 41 feet. We've got that available in a 20-inch blade as well as a 22. And then our grain cart program is going to start somewhere. We typically will start that late October, first part of November. Some of the things to look forward to for this year's grain cart improvements: we've got improved spout control. So that's something, again, as we talk to farmers and our dealers, that's one of those things that they really felt like that we were needing some improvement on. So that's something that we worked on over the last year or so. And so we're going to be able to bring you improved spout control. We will see the addition of a ladder. And then we've got one other sneaky thing for you that we're going to sneak into this year's grain cart early order program. This is kind of a blast from the past. We're bringing back the legend. And so I want you all to stay tuned. Check us out at Farm Progress Show and also in Louisville, Kentucky, the National Farm Machinery Show. We've got some exciting things in store there, not only for the grain carts, but you'll see some exciting things there as well for the planters as we begin to launch new products in calendar 22.
Thank you so much for making time for us here tonight and teaching us more and helping us learn more about what goes on behind the scenes at Kinsey. We really appreciate it, and we wish you all the best going forward and hope you'll all stay in touch. Brad, Eric, Susie, thank you again very much. And thank you very much for joining us here tonight on Rural America Live. I'm John Jenkinson. We'll see you next time right here on Rural America Live on RFD TV, Rural America's most important network.